Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us virtually and here in person. I'm glad to see everybody in the room got it here, mostly before the rain. I think maybe one person got it. I'm Alderman Lee from the 11th Ward. We're also joined by Alderwoman Ramirez from the 12th Ward. She's here as well. This is not my meeting, so I'm going to hand it over to the folks from Karis Cold Storage. We have an agenda for us, so if you wouldn't mind getting us started, that'd be great.
Absolutely. Welcome everyone. Thanks for coming out in the rain. My name is Steve Schuster. I'm Karis Cold Council for Forum K and Surrey here in Chicago. From our team, we've got Ken Berg from Karis Cold. We've got Mike Stella on the side. We've got Dominic Silvio from American Demolition. And I'm not sure if that gentleman is Jeremy. Well, Jeremy, I think you're with Dominic. You guys are issue with the Ken.
The echo is making the laptop speaker such a clear output.
Okay. You want to send it to me? Sorry, we have a slight technical difficulty here. I think we're just gonna have someone send the presentation to me so I could project it onto the. So we had it all worked out before we went live and then we choked, sorry.
You need to both mute your problems.
He's a general contractor, we can't expect success out of
Exit out of there. Worry about the sound.
It's just like.
If you wouldn't mind starting over.
Oh, absolutely. Again, welcome everyone. Thanks for coming out. My name is Steve Schuster, Karis Cold Attorney for Forum K and Surrey in Chicago. Ken Byrne, Karis, Mike Stella, the inside general contractor on the project, Dominic Silvio and Jeremy from American Demo, the demolition contractors on the project. Appreciate everybody making time tonight. Maybe you're familiar with the project already. We've already had 3 community meetings. I was not here, but several of our team were. Those meetings were in August of 2022, September of 2022, and again in September of 2022. Additionally, there was a city council meeting on economic capital and technology development hearing on July 10th, 2023. The purpose of tonight's meeting is to inform the community that demolition will commence soon. I have this meeting and it's to provide you with information regarding the demolition process. We'll start with a short presentation, which Mike's going to fire up on the computer there. We'll have time for questions and comments at the end. Please wait your questions until the end. One of the leads, anything else you'd like to say before we get going on that presentation?
Sure. Thank you everybody for being here today. I know this is I think our 4th community meeting that we've held. That Karis has hosted. I appreciate the additional opportunity to understand what demolition is going to look like. This building has been vacant for decades. Those of us, excuse me, that live in the community are going to be, I think, very interested to hear about how this demolition is going to go. Obviously, the city has some new processes around demolition. I believe this is a complex demolition. We've got experts here to share with us what that process is going to be like. I think, public safety is of the utmost importance. I think that's just as important to all of us in the room, especially our representatives from Karis Cold Storage. They're going to be improving that property, like putting up a cold storage facility. I think we're going to have the opportunity to just get an overview of the project before we get into the actual demolition process. So thanks for being here. And for all of you that are here from the community, thanks for coming out tonight. Please ask many questions. It's important to us to make sure that we have transparency around big demolition like this. And whatever we need to answer, hopefully we'll get all that tonight. So thanks.
Okay, you want to give an overview of the project?
So on the screen, you can see this is the site plan for the project, which is approximately 100,000 square foot cold storage building. So I'm actually stand up and also on this side. Basically fitting within the same footprint, obviously laid out a little bit different than the existing asset that's there today that will be demolished. The a couple of the things that we've done, and we've been working on this project for a number of years now. The original meetings were back in 2022. So since then, when it comes to the actual physical property that we're going to build, not much. And we have moved our setback back further than any other buildings in the area. So we're 15 feet back from the property line. There will be landscaping and a mural installed along the west side of the building. And ultimately will be built as a purpose-built cold storage facility. When I mean purpose-built, where it's designed for the freezer storage, the cooler storage of food coming in and out of the city. Some of the product, all depending on the user that goes in the building, we're not a user, we are just a developer. We'll be leasing the building to someone that will operate the building and could be serving the restaurants in the city, could be serving, exporting, some of the proteins that are processed in the stockyards area, which we're all familiar with. So, again, this is just a quick overview. We've got a couple of our renderings of what the finished building will look like. Again, this is rendering, but conceptually, this is how it will look. So again, the west side, this is what it looks like today. We've also been tested many a time, and the only change now is that we have started to get prepared for demolition. So Dominic this year can talk about everything that they'll be doing throughout the process. But as you can see, the inside of it is anything but desirable at this point in time.
Excellent. Thanks, Ben. I guess next, Dominic, why don't you go over the complex demolition process and what that means?
Absolutely. My name is Dominic Sylvia, I'm the Vice President of Estimating and Project Management for American Demolition. This project, this building is considered complex demolition in the city of Chicago. Complex demolition comes with a few challenges, few sets of rules that come into place recently. First phase is demolition plan. The structures were designed by a structural engineer. He looked at the buildings for demolition. We have a signed letter from the structural engineer to their condition. He approved our demolition plan. We submitted air monitoring plan. That tells the city when we go in, we're going to set up air monitors on the four corners to test for dust. To be done on a daily basis. It's going to be done by the hour, every hour. We're going to get readings. If an anomaly turns up and there's an event, we will get an alert. We will change our demolition methods. The future dust plan ties into the air monitoring plan. It's what are we going to do to prevent dust? We're going to have water cannons on site. These are big fans that we feed water into that spray and mist dust of water to knock down the dust. Small droplets grab the dust and bring it down to the ground, trying to minimize any dust leaving the project site. Site safety and operations plan. And we have to tell the city how we're going to do this safely, what our methods are, what are we going to use. We are not using implosion. There is no dynamite in this project. All mechanical. Majority will be done with hydraulic excavators with hydraulic tappers. That'll take the pieces, basically chew them like a sandwich, and will drop to the ground. So there'll be no big, large sections of the building falling to create big plumes of dust and big vibration. We're going to minimize that. We are going to spray or wrecking ball in some sections of the building because of the way it's constructed. But that'll be to a minimum. Road inspection. We've had the entire site. Brought in exterminators, we went through the whole entire site, did his inspection, found no evidence of rodents. He placed bait traps around the whole place, there was no activity. After, I would say, 3 or 4 weeks of the bait traps being there, city inspector came out, street sanitation. He did a thorough inspection, found no evidence of any rodent activity. So, since there's no food in that building, there's very limited any rat activity. We do have bait traps still there. So there is no evidence of rodent. Department of Public Health, we had to put plans into them. They reviewed our demolition plan. They came out to the demolition inspection. The asbestos was elevated, they came and they reviewed that. And then we had to have proper notification to the adjoining neighbors, to the Alpers, which was completed. The Complex Demolition process. We talked about this, I talked about this already, how we're gonna do it. Excavators, hydraulic attachments, frame, minimally handwork, there's some handwork that gotta be done. We put a pedestrian canopy across the entire front along Ashland Avenue, pedestrian safety. We also built scaffolding from the top of the canopy to the very top of the building. The front of the building, we're gonna take off by hand and bring it into the site. Timeline for this project, it's gonna be about 4 months. 2 to 3 months, the building getting big on the ground, probably another month that, you know, the rest of the breeze. On this project, we plan on having 15 to 20 union members on our crew. The site is secured with a chain link fence all the way around with the proper screening for the city of Chicago to construct the site ordinance. And I said again, the dust mitigation, water pistons. These are big, they're like the size of a pickup truck on a trailer. You hook them up to the hydrants and they spread. For some reason, we plan on having at least 3. If we need more, we have ability of more. We also have other options, fire hose that we can implement. But we feel we've been doing this a long time in the city of Chicago, and our methods work very well.
Couple of quick points. Americans are there, for rebuilding, so just sound a lot. Rebuilding.
35th and actually, yeah, maybe entire complex.
So, the about here, again, similar to so this is not.
Are there any concerns about lead dogs?
No,
Methane?
no.
And where is the debris going?
The rezone, some is gonna be, recycled and some will be on the landfill.
Is there any opportunity for potential salvage, like if this, like, we have some new construction coming in, we were gonna do, they should maybe certain elements, not, is that allowed?
To be quite honest with you, there's not much left in the building. It's pretty, the roof's caved in most places. It's been vacant for such a long time, they've been in there and they've done quite a bit of damage, and stuff that was for an artifact or historical, they've kind of damaged it. Kids just being kids and painted on it, broke it, whatever. So there really is not a lot of that.
So you're taking the brick off by hand, are you planning to try and salvage the brick at all, or is it all being crushed?
It'll be, some of it will be salvaged from Chicago common brick. A lot of that the front facade is face brick, so that won't be.
The air monitoring plan, is that independent of, or are you guys monitoring it, or is it like an outside base monitoring?
It's 4 stations that we monitor. That gives us warnings. We have reports that we turn into the city at the end of the project, and it lets us know if there is an event. It'll give us a heads up, and then we can change our demolition procedures.
Okay, so it'll be like your safety department, your monitoring.
Yes.
Okay. And then just say it's like before on the corners of the property, or maybe.
On the elevations, inside our fence.
Yeah. Anything going outside the property, like say from west down or house down and like that?
Well, the monitor should pick up whatever. They're there to make sure that no dust escapes the site.
Right.
So once it hits our monitor, then we gotta do something about it, because that's the edge of the property line. So we're trying to, we'll have to worry about going down.
Okay. And then let's say the monitors do go off, you stop demolition and then.
Yes, then we change our method, if it's too windy, we'll switch over to going, switch to another area. We have.
Okay, and that's laid out in your secret demolition procedure.
I'm sorry?
And that's laid out in your. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys put any sort of like covering around the building while you're taking it down? Is there like, I don't know anything about demolition, so please forgive the ignorant
No.
question.
No, we have screening on the fence, it's only 6 or 8 foot high, but then also on the front facade, where we said we had a pedestrian canopy. We will be, while we're working up there, we will trim towers down
Okay,
on our side,
so that nothing's coming out.
right?
And did you say there's no lead paint? I thought there was a lead paint in the building.
Yes, and it's gonna be no limit.
Okay. So there's lead paint and that's going, you're not crushing anything on site. Everything is going to be hauled away. Okay.
All away.
No asbestos.
Especially the big one.
It's already been remediated. Yeah.
The lead paint, we basically, lead paint we've done on all this Ashland, it's all above grade. So that portion of it will be chipped up to the appropriate landfill. And then just whatever's clean, there's some, reusable ground that can be recycled. That will be piled, set separately prior to crushing, will get inspected by the city and then we'll crush it. And they'll make sure it's the clean, fairly crush.
And we went through a several month process with CDPH about that. That's fully vetted by CDPH, and this is their desire, so.
Any other questions?
I mean, no, other than it's just a shame. I know the building's improved, but it's really just a shame. This is the first land manufacturing district in the world. And almost nothing is left untouched. You know, at the very least, you could say, when the city really dropped the ball on that one, though really building, it would feel kind of important, but it's just really a shame that not even an element of what's there now is gonna be preserved. And I'm just extremely disappointed. I'm not disappointed in industrial use. I support industry in the city. I don't really support downzoning generally. I think your conservation plan is fantastic. And it's great to see, new industrial uses in a manufacturing district that essentially is involved in stock. But it's just really a shame that there is no element of structural preservation. We just don't care about our history. As much as we talk about it, we bluster about it, we don't. And it really sucks. And I was disappointed that it's like death by 1,000 cuts. One building after another after another.
I get it. No, thank you for your comments.
I'm curious, did Preservation Chicago reach out to you guys?
Oh, yeah, they
Yeah.
came to our meetings. I
Yeah,
I can let you take this one, yeah.
Yeah,
they were here a week ago, but they're not here tonight.
yeah, understood. I think part of it is, what we're building and the design of the, unfortunately, there's just no way to, there's really one section that I talk about, any remote value, but where it is, does not work for a cold storage facility. And we did try, they created, see if there was some way, and just for traffic purposes or logistic purposes, that side of the building is all freezer. And so it has to be the inside of the panels in order to maintain the integrity of the food. And again, my first real estate experience with this steel building, Marshallville Estate, buildings, my grandfather, and these dental practice in their 30s, and so I have a full appreciation of, I've been in Chicago real estate for 25 years. Well, when we can, absolutely. To find some homage, we take some of the bricks that we can and build a plan or using those bricks that, we're putting a lot of landscaping into trying to get them. Make the site as pretty as possible as it can be, we don't know what to stop there, so. We appreciate the history and value of the stock areas and the fact that that's where a lot of Chicago's roots began. And put us on the market, pretty on the map when it comes to just food, the old processing plants, and we still find, the deep hanging in some of these old buildings. You appreciate the history of it. So it isn't for a lack of want, it's just from a personal standpoint, just.
You know how to do a job now,
Sure, so from a man-hour standpoint, building construction, I don't want to speak for, we have a geographic man-hour numbers. I think one of our other projects just to close to 100,000 hours, so it, these are more intricate, expensive buildings, and we're talking 2.5 times the cost of building a whole building versus what we're trying to sort of cost. So they said, So because it's purpose built, from starting base to the foundation level, so we're gonna put in a glycol system in the floor to prevent the floors from leaking. So the floors are built up in a very specific way, the walls are built in a very, using the inside metal panel material. Majority of the building, we made with our front facade that's facing the front wall, and just on the precast backup. And then the refrigeration system aspect of it. So this building will be designed to maintain temperatures at 10 below, up to 55 degrees. These are all the refrigeration equipment that goes with it. Amount of power is more than a traditional dry building because of that. It will, but at this point in time, the evolution of cold storage, going to building in the stockyards, it's not that efficient. Let's be honest, we've made steps and we're working on that in the efficiency program. This is purpose built, we're using today's technology, so we can, by going to a higher cube, we take up less of the footprint, we're using the 50 foot clear capacity of the building. It makes it more efficient for the operator, but they don't have, the number of pallets we can fit in this building would have been twice the size of the building as a traditional building. So, but because of all those things, going 50 foot clear, the type of insulation that goes in the walls, in the floor, in the roof. I mean, these buildings are designed, even if you lost power with cold temperature for a couple of days, like this. I mean, so it's,
It's like a giant Yeti cooler,
Exactly, really it is.
And what does this cost? Like,
the investment in
Yeah.
the community.
This building, so just, the, raw construction standpoint, to finish beating up our friends from DSI.
what is this gonna go?
Overall, 30 million plus.
$30 million bucks.
When you factor in land and material fees and all those other costs, but then the actual construction, is in excess of $200 for this building.
And for the cold storage, like supermarkets where store their food, there will be stores over there.
It could be anybody, so there could be, it runs the gamut, and then I've been in the cold space since 2016. Pretty specifically, where at some dry house and it started with cold opportunities, you'll see a lot of the protein users, so protein is important. Chicken, beef, case loaders do much better, ultimately ending up in restaurants, or depending on the level of processing they go to, they end up in processing plants that ultimately get turned into your different patties and so forth. It could be ice cream, it could be dairy, it could be cookies, it could be really anything you walk into the grocery store, it's the frozen vegetables to the fruits, it all has, again, each user is doing a little bit different food versus the same. Bread is a big one in Chicago market, we've got the bakeries and they'll stack their pallets.
So the giving part of the Chicago, so.
The big card has been beating Chicago for decades.
So, so if we can have a commitment from you to salvage as many bricks as you possibly can that might be usable to construct something else.
Yep.
I think the community would appreciate the opportunity to preserve as much as we can of that history. And to your point, I know that this is a disappointment, this building, we tried a million different ways to integrate this. But I will tell you that, in the 11th ward, the Stockyards Bank building is something we're very committed to making sure that we're saving. That is a focus for us in this coming year. There have been, it's not quite an RFP, but we've invited people who are interested to submit proposals to come in and view the location. We paired it with the parcel of land across the street from the gates over there. So, we're really, on that note, very committed to making sure that we can bring that gem back to life. And with a creative adaptive reuse of that building.
Yeah, so yours is great, the base brick is really nice, the terracotta details where they're at are quite nice. And I do have, because DPD is mandating that setback, right, that 15 foot from property line setback. First, I'm not really a fan of those, because even if the landscape and traffic spot in there, it's not really that engaging to pedestrian to have these landscape setbacks. It's kind of suburban, but if you build some planters, raise a planter bed alongside.
To your idea,
Why
yeah.
to keep the trash out?
Yeah.
It would actually be a little bit more engaged with pedestrians. Sure.
Yeah, and I agree. We moved it back to accommodate the city's request, to your point, it's a lot of plantings, it becomes a tight area, but so look at ways that we can use the correct, some next year, if they're one of the guys putting it down.
I
So
did
you
ask if
understand our
people on like here, they said they could.
Okay, great.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
There you go.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I know it's coming down eventually, and I did the state and, your president, and then, again, I'm not against the cost overall, I wish you guys luck. It's good to see a new industrial use over there, yeah, it's sort of, it was inherent in my heart, because, again, I love that street, I used to do on that. Right. It's practically not there.
no, I understand.
Ken, are you folks pursuing, or did you receive any LEED credits or pursuing any green building plans or is it even
We're not-
possible in cold storage?
We're not focused on it. Again, our goal is to build the most energy efficient building because,
It's cool.
it is cold storage. So we will be using, LED fixtures for all the lighting. We'll be using the hands-free faucets in the restrooms. We're gonna take all the necessary steps. When it comes to refrigeration system, we look for what's the most economical, efficient system to make it,
But you're not gonna pursue the formal
We're not
LEED.
pursuing-
Okay, thank you.
not at this time.
Regarding the grid, one of the things that happens a little bit, and I know Will's trying to take pictures. Well, that's not Google, so I don't take too much credit, but this might be, so because we're just here, we had talked about when it was possible to use. Who wants to work in a parking lot, just one kind of very like low tech.
Right, we talked about maybe doing something on the street at the corner of.
Yeah, it's thinking, and.
So,
and we
That
gotta move it anyway.
the white terracotta coming at the top of it, just above the window line.
Yeah, that's the stuff we were interested in, we're not, some uses of the facade that might be able to be used like as a perimeter fencing or something to make place maybe. So you get a sense of what was there, we're not looking about the big,
You can just-
you gotta haul it anyway.
Right.
Can you exit?
Well, let's get it down.
Yes.
So
I
some of
realize
the
that's not
instructors, some of the instructors not saying who just.
Yeah, I'm-
Pieces in without doing it in a section that piece will be savable and useful, check fracture and split.
Again, or alternatively, if they can get it,
Depends on
whatever
stress,
people they can get down, through the community channel that you have, you've got an artist who wants to create something that we put on the street corner using these materials. We could look down that path as well, but.
That might be an option, but
I'm still viewing your screen.
Yeah, we'll work with all of these offices to make sure that it's coordinated, maybe we can get a spot on the second, considering the chair.
Great, thank you.
thanks for entertaining.
It's early 1922, I want to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Early 1900s.
What was it last used as, and that's been empty all the time?
I heard mattress factory, does that sound?
There's evidence of a mattress, there's some kind of mattress fabric, that's your dollars there, it's vacant. Seven bunch of European.
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
If you want to count the raves or.
I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. I'm hoping that the sound quality on the recording is a little bit better. Apologies to those of you who are online. I checked in earlier to see if everybody could hear, but it seems like everybody had a slightly different sound experience. If there are additional questions, I know that the demolition company and Karis are happy to answer those questions. Appreciate knowing that my biggest concern was with the lead paint and the dust and not knowing that it's not going to be crushed on site was really helpful. And I think for those of us that are in the community, we'll be keeping an eye on things, you can count on us to let you know if we see anything over there.
Although we've been in business for over 30 years, as in Chicago, demolition contractor, we take pride in what we do. We've been doing it in Chicago for a long time. The fiasco that happened in Crawford was from a contractor that brought it from out of town. We had no ties to Chicago, so everybody knows the issue behind it wasn't a Chicago contractor that made that mess. And we're all upset by it, although it gave us all a bad name. And that's why we're having these community meetings to try and clear up our name, because you never saw that in the city of Chicago. Demolition contractor. I've been doing this for over 30 years. Never had it. Wouldn't have to go down.
Not us.
That's the whole.
Oh, hold on a second. There's one question. Someone wanted to, Brendan from, Senator Villanueva's office, wanted to ask about the tentative time frame for the demo. So the demolition permit has not been issued yet. This was part of the process. So it's imminent. It's going to happen. Once the permit is issued, that's going to take probably 4 months to complete. What I would ask, and I think I'll speak for Alderwoman Ramirez, I think she would agree to this. Please give us notice on this, right? So once the permit is issued, if you can give us at least a week, 2 would be ideal for us to share with the community so that they know what's going on. There's nothing worse than a community member sort of like showing up one day, walking, and there's demolition going on, and they're like, what's going on here? So we'd like to be able to communicate that with the community as much as possible and as far in advance as possible. I did share out the notification when the letter was sent from your office, and then obviously we've had this meeting, so.
So based on our understanding and what we've extracted from the city and the department that's gonna issue the permit, that after this step, it is, as we said, imminent.
Yeah.
Where we kind of use this as your notice, it's starting really soon.
Okay,
So-
I just, before you tear one brick down, just make sure that we know about it, like, as far in advance as possible. We'll report out that this meeting has happened, but as soon as the permit's issued, I'll ask CDPH to let us know too. Because if you're gonna show up the very next day, what I'm asking for is that you not show up the very next day, if it's at all possible. I will talk to CDPH tomorrow to find out when they're gonna issue the permit. Again, it just helps all of us, the more notice we can give folks as possible. And I think there's.
I mean, it's not like you're just taking this stuff done in one, right? I mean, is there a practice that you've got to go?
I was running.
We mobilize everything. Yeah, I had guys.
Yeah.
This is-
All the non-permitted prep work.
You're already, you're just waiting for the permit to hit go. Okay,
Well, we'll work with your office.
Yeah.
When you say it's ready.
yeah, because again, I just want to make sure we're being transparent with everybody. So everybody on the call, we know this is imminent. It's gonna happen pretty quickly after the permit is issued. I'll have a conversation with Dave tomorrow. Okay? Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming out. I'm glad it stopped raining.